Hi everyone, this is PH, and if you're new to my channel, I make videos for the dual blades and Monster Hunter Wilds. So if you're interested in learning the dual blades, then you found the perfect channel. And I'm going to assume that you haven't checked out my video guide yet for the dual blades, and I do highly recommend it. It's going to teach you on how to play the dual blades very effectively. So I'm going to be putting a link on that in the description, so go ahead and check it out after this video or whenever you get a chance. And just so everyone is aware, I make these videos to encourage and not to discourage, and always remember that there are no bad players in this game. You simply need to play some more, because once you've killed a monster about 100 times, then you'll know what I mean, because the game is more about memorizing the monster's movements. So just keep on playing, keep on learning, and just have a good time. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over a 9-star Seregios hunt that's actually under a very specific and strict TA Wiki rules. So TA Wiki rules, I believe, stands for time attack Wiki rules, and under that rule, you're not allowed to bring your palico with you, you're not allowed to use heroics, you're not allowed to use any traps or environmentals, and that I actually have to slay the monster to end the hunt. So this is going to be different from my previous speedrun videos. This is going to be much more complicated as well, and this is where I truly show off my skills as a hunter. So stay tuned and watch. I'm going to be doing my commentary and thought process on the side, so you guys can hopefully learn from the video as the fight goes on. And before we get started, let me quickly go over the build. So for the weapon, I'm going to be using the 11 Acres weapon because that's best for Thunder. It comes with Convert Thunder Resistance. So I'm going to be also slotting in some Thunder Resistance Jewel to further boost my Thunder Element damage. And for the slots, I'm going to be using Critical Jewel. So in total, I'm going to have level 4 Critical Jewel because I have this talisman right here. It's got 2 Razor Sharp, 1 Critical Element, and Agitator, so I can slot in an extra Critical Jewel on the 1 slot right there. And then for the armor set, I'll be using the 3-piece Raidao so I can get that 5% raw damage boost from Guts Tenacity. Also 2 Lagia Cruz Coil and Greaves, so I can get the Weakness Exploit skill from that, so I can max it out. And then for the comport, I'm using level 2 earplugs so I can nullify the Seregios Roar. And then I'm also going to have 1 counter attack jewel and 1 burst. And that's pretty much it. Overall, if everything becomes active at once, like let's say the Lagia Cruz skill becomes active, and then latent power plus the weakness exploit, my affinity will actually reach over 100% if I'm targeting a weak spot of the monster. So that's really strong because for the most part, I'm only going to be targeting Seregios' legs, and those are really weak points of Seregios. So as you can see, I'm not going to be using any mantle because of the TA Wiki rules, and I'm also not going to be bringing my palico with me. I'm also not allowed to use traps and flash bombs, so let's go over the gameplay. So I'm going to be slaying the 9-star Seregios in the arena, and of course with no mantles or no palico. And for the opener, I normally do a sneak attack and then focus strike and do the 6 folds, dodge the roar, and then chain it into a blade dance 2 and 3. And then I dodge again, chain it into a blade dance 2 and 3, and I think that's the perfect opener. And I'm not turning off the demon mode because I know that there's going to be a wound when he goes down, and that's how I refill my gauge. I just ignored the roll right there because I have earplugs, so I can do more DPS. And again, when he does the sliding attacks like that, it always comes in two patterns. So he kicks you from the front and he does it again from the back, and always dodge backwards and do a screw slicer in the same direction so you can maximize your DPS with it. So again, dodge backwards, do a screw slicer. And make sure to learn how to dodge those kicks, because it's easy to get locked into animation of your combination. And once you're doing the Blade Dance 3, it's kind of hard to cancel it, but you can still cancel it, but there's a small window, and that's something that you guys have to practice. So dodge back tail. And then these sideways kicks that he does, make sure you're just walking towards it to dodge it. And here I decided not to break the tempered wound right away because I was about to lose my demon boost mode. So I'm like trying to wait until I activate the demon boost before I knock him down, but then he got knocked down anyway. And now I'm focusing the tail area because I want to get that tempered wound as well. And it's hard to focus it when Seregios is standing up. And then there's the tempered wound that I decided to break right away to get the knockdown because I have demon boost available anyway. So in case you didn't know, demon boost gives you like 20% more raw damage, so that's a lot. So you always want it to be active when you knock down a monster, otherwise you lose a lot of DPS. So you see how I start walking towards the kick before dodging it, because it's just easier to time it that way. So again, dodge those little kicks and dodge. And you see, I didn't dodge backwards there, and I missed out on the screw slicer. And that's why it's very important to dodge backwards through sliding kicks, and then do a screw slicer on the same direction so you can maximize the DPS. And finally got the tempered wound on the tail, so I decided to get that knockdown, but he didn't really stay down. Dodge backwards and screw slicer, backwards and screw slicer. So that's the most efficient way to do it. And every time he does those tail spikes, it's going to be a dive that's going to be a follow-up from Seregios. So be aware of that fact. So dodge backwards and screw slicer. And just dodge sideways. And make use of the wounds to refill your gauge or your stamina in case you're running low on them. That's the most efficient way of handling those tempered wounds in general. So as you can see over there, when I dodged, I chained it into a Blade Dance 2 and 3. And another reason why you should dodge backwards is because you see how I didn't dodge backwards there, and there was a huge gap between me and Seregios. So I could have done more DPS if I dodged backwards. Same thing over there, but there you go, dodge backwards and screw slicer. And there you go. Overall, I was actually pretty impressed of how everything turned out. You know, there were some small mistakes, but you know, overall it was almost perfect. I think that this truly allowed me to show off my skills with the dual blades, because with my regular speedrun of Seregios, I was able to end the hunt in just a little over 3 minutes, but that's with using Palico, Mantles, and Traps, and also environmentals. And on this one, it was just pure dual blades, and it took me almost about 5 minutes, so that's a huge difference. But overall, I'm pretty satisfied. And also, if you guys haven't seen my video guide for the dual blades, then I highly suggest that you guys go over it. And if you guys like the video, please like and subscribe. And if you guys have any questions, just leave a comment below, and we'll get back to you whenever I get the chance. So I'll catch you guys on the next one, alright?